Chapter 73, all with different thoughts. Lin Chuxu no longer cared about whether other people knew about her relationship with Su Cheng. She directly pushed away the police blocking the way, ran past the fences and came to Su Cheng, shouting anxiously, "Su Cheng! Su Cheng!" Ran Jing and the others immediately ran over and took a look at the dagger left inside Su Cheng's abdomen area, seeing that it was still bleeding. She immediately shouted towards the ambulance outside, "Doctor!" The doctors and others immediately rushed over and put Su Cheng on the stretcher. Lin Chuxu tightly grabbed onto Su Cheng's hand and refused to let go. "Please let go, we need to take him to the hospital." "I'm going to." Lin Chuxu refused. Ran Jing gave a look to the medical staff, and they had no choice but to let her get onto the ambulance as well. Lin Chuxu looked at Su Cheng's face that was as pale as a piece of paper and thought back to how domineering he was just now. She tightly held onto Su Cheng's hand and sighed, "Su Cheng, you changed." A faint smile appeared on her face. It was a gratifying smile. "You no longer have an inferiority complex and became more like a man. Did you know that I've waited for this day for a long time? I always believed and also looked forward to the day when you can become confident and announce to the whole world that I'm your wife. Today's a good start, I will wait for you. I will wait for the day when you realize that you are brilliant enough to give me a lifetime of happiness, and then face our marriage like how domineering you were just now." Her cold and indifferent attitude towards Su Cheng was all because Su Cheng declined her father's proposal that night 5 years ago for them to get married. She was just too pissed off. How could Su Cheng not tell that she had liked him since their childhood? She was mad that Su Cheng was trying to escape like a coward. Ever since he lost his father when he was in junior high, he became silent and unconfident. Her father told her that it might be because of the incident with Su Cheng's mother that he became a bit repulsed by and distrustful towards women, and that was why he resisted marriage. If Lin Chuxu didn't love Su Cheng, she obviously wouldn't accept her father's decision to marry her to Su Cheng. The reason she was acting so cold and indifferent towards Su Cheng after marriage was because Su Cheng had really hurt her heart. He was fixated on what he thought was best for her, and he didn't even touch her. He wanted to keep the distance so Lin Chuxu could find a man that could make her happy, and he completely forgot to consider her feelings. The more he acted that way, the angrier Lin Chuxu got. She deliberately joined the entertainment circle to test Su Cheng and see if he cared, but who would have thought that Su Cheng could really not react at all. Over time, Lin Chuxu's temper and attitude for life became dull, and she developed the present personality of not being interested in anything. She also thought about forgetting this relationship. But, ever since that night Su Cheng got drunk and someone called her using his phone, her life that was calm like a lake saw ripples as if a stone had been cast into the water. With the waves in her life, she knew that she just couldn't leave it all behind. Especially right now, her heart was all twisted seeing Su Cheng this badly injured. Perhaps it was the thoughts in her mind traveling back to the sweet childhood they had spent together that she didn't realize that her phone had been ringing for a while. The nurse couldn't help but remind her, "Miss, your phone's ringing." Lin Chuxu took out her phone. It was a call from her little brother, Lin Lei. "Hello. Sis, Dad has a big knife on my neck right now, you go and talk to him now." Lin Lei didn't know whether he should laugh or cry as he passed the phone to Lin Gairan. On the other end, a refined and deep voice sounded. "Hey, what medicine are you trying to sell in your gourd?" "Dad." Lin Chuxu bitterly smiled. Originally, they planned to go over right after the match. But now, Su Cheng was unconscious, and she had no choice but to come clean. She sighed and answered, "Something happened to Su Cheng." "Where are you guys?" asked the anxious voice on the phone. "Lin Chuxu, on the way to People's Hospital." The other end of the phone immediately hung up. After the ambulance got to the hospital, Su Cheng was carried into the emergency room, and Lin Chuxu waited outside. Not long after, Shen Yao and Ran Jing also came, and they sat on the bench outside and waited anxiously. Wang Ying came over too, and she saw the 3 extremely beautiful girls waiting outside. She didn't know who they were to Su Cheng, but she was incredibly shocked that there were 3 girls this beautiful around Su Cheng. Although Lin Chuxu was in sunglasses, it still couldn't conceal her golden body proportions and her delicate and perfect face contours. If she took off her glasses and revealed her sea blue eyes, she could tug the heartstrings of any man. Shen Yao sat beside Lin Chuxu and wasn't talking. When she subconsciously turned around and saw her girlfriend, she had a curious question that she wanted to ask her, but the timing wasn't appropriate. So, did Lin Chuxu and Su Cheng know each other? Why was she so nervous just now? Ran Jing was also thinking about the same thing. Lin Chuxu was also thinking about how to cover up the truth and explain why she was acting so nervous earlier. However, when they saw Wang Ying also waiting by the hall, they were all shocked. All these women had different thoughts in their mind. Ran Jing was just waiting here because Su Cheng was her friend. Shen Yao basically had a crush on him now, so that was why she was waiting. Lin Chuxu was waiting because she was Su Cheng's wife and she loved him. Wang Ying was concerned for Su Cheng's injury and was here to get updates to report back to her supervisor. However, when four women were together waiting for one man, any girl's thoughts would begin to run wild. And when the attending doctor came out to ask for a signature from a family member, a very funny scene appeared. The patient needs blood, can the family member please sign this and go to the front desk to take care the rest of the procedures? And then, four of them all stood up at the same time. And then, they all paused. Lin Chuxu hesitated for a second because Shen Yao was looking at her with those inquiring eyes. She gritted her teeth and sat back down. Ran Jing said to Shen Yao, "You should go sign. Did you bring money?" Shen Yao nodded, and then she went over to the front desk and worked on the forms and paid the bills. Lin Chuxu asked the doctor, "How is he? His life isn't in danger, but there's too much blood loss and he still needs to be hospitalized for a few days." The three of them at the scene immediately let out a sigh of relief. Lin Chuxu immediately thanked the doctor. When Lin Lei came over with their parents, he immediately went to the reception and asked, "Which room is the patient Su Cheng in?" At that moment, Shen Yao, who was just paying the bills, was surprised as she turned her head to look, seeing a handsome mixed-blood young boy,